Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Frances Cohen. I'm so excited to welcome you all today to our webinar where we will be providing resources for small businesses during the COVID-19 pandemic. We are very excited, the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Oakland Bay Area chapter. We want to thank you all for joining us to hear some dynamic and professional presenters who will be providing information regarding resources supporting small businesses. We want all of you who own a business to leave here today with information. We want you to be optimistic and hopeful that there are resources to help you pivot and move your business forward during this time. I am passionate and excited for you to hear what these professionals have to say. And we want you to ask pointed questions so that you walk away with the answers that you need to help your business move forward. Right now, I would like to introduce our phenomenal president, Aisha Brown, to welcome all of you. Madam President.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Appreciate those opening remarks. You're direct and very on point. So good afternoon, everyone. Happy Thursday. We like to again say welcome and say congratulations. We want to say thank you for taking this opportunity to really come together to hear, as Frances outlined, from some key experts in their fields to kind of share with you some information, some opportunities, and some ways to really get your business going, sustaining, or just moving it to that next level. We're excited that you really have made the commitment to invest in yourselves. As we are a women's advocacy organization and we lead and try to empower all our community, our constituencies on how to be the best of themselves. So we want to just say thank you again for joining us this afternoon. I want to say thank you to Ms. Frances Cohen, our Economic and Empowerment Chair, for helping to pull this event together and lead us through this great opportunity. I hope you guys learned a lot of great information. Thank you.
Oh, great. Thank you, Madam President. Thank you so much. So we're going to get started. A few housekeeping items. One, everyone will be on mute. And if you have comments, please put them in the chat box. All your questions can go into the Q&A box. And one of our members will be going through those questions. Also, we would like you to know that we're going to save a half an hour. This is an hour and a half event. And after the last speaker, we will answer your questions. So I also want to let everyone know that we will also be giving away a $350 gift cards today to 3 small businesses. I also want to thank our sponsors, Coca-Cola and Bank of the West, for their support of our economic empowerment and financial literacy program and small business programs. So without further ado, let's get the show on the road. Our first speaker, presenter, Brianna Boyd, representing America's Small Business Development Center of Solano County. Brianna Boyd joined the Solano County Small Business Development Team in July of 2020. This position was created by the Solano County SBDC after the CARES Act to support businesses as they navigate and try to recover from COVID-19 and its impact. So Brianna does many things over at the Small Business Center. She manages communication, social media channels, website contents. She writes press releases. She works with community partners and their stakeholders. She also facilitates webinars for small businesses. And in the last 6 months, Brianna has assisted the administration, really. They themselves have provided 3 local grant programs to Solano County small businesses. Without further ado, please welcome Brianna Boyd.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Francis, for having me today. I'm very excited to be here and to talk with all of you about the Small Business Development Center and how we can help you in your business. So, if you've never heard of the Small Business Development Center before, we are here to help you in any way that we possibly can. Above all, we want to see you and your business thrive. So whether you've been in business for 20 years or if you're launching your first startup, the SBDC has experienced business advisors who are here for you. We are part of the NorCal network. There are 20 SBDC centers in the NorCal network, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. But each center has a talented team of advisors who are available to speak on a wide range of topics, everything from business plans, marketing and research, strategy, finance, human resources, leadership. If you have a restaurant, the NorCal SBDC, we have an incredible restaurant program, and all the advising is free. All of our services, actually, for the most part, are free to any business with 500 employees or less. In Solano County, that's over 99% of our businesses. Next slide, please. So as I was saying, the Northern California Small Business Development Center is a nonprofit network. We're made up of 18 centers, and they're dedicated to helping small businesses with every aspect of business growth, creation, management, and operation. All centers offer free one-on-one advising and those monthly business-focused webinars. And what's really amazing about the NorCal SBDC network is that, as I was talking about the monthly business webinars, each center has these webinars, but you could watch, you could view the webinars from, no matter where you're located. Prior to COVID, most of these webinars were in person. They were in-person classes, but now they're over Zoom. So it's really opening the door for people to learn more, meet more people, network, and get inspiration and ideas for their business. And now I know that most of the people who are joining us today are from the Bay Area, so I wanted to highlight the Bay Area chapters of the SBDC. There's Alameda, Contra Costa, Marin, Napa Sonoma, San Francisco, San Mateo, and then Solano is down there at the bottom. And again, like I said, when you sign up for the Solano SBDC, you're assigned to the network where your business is centered. So let's say your business is in Alameda County, so you would be part of the Alameda SBDC. But no matter where you go, each center has the advisors and the webinars for you. Thank you. Next slide. So the NorCal SBDC, we actually just recently launched a brand new project that I'm so excited to share with you all. It's called the Inclusivity Project. The idea behind this is we're connecting 1,000 Black entrepreneurs and Black-owned small businesses with business mentorship and $100 million in capital to start their first business or take their existing business to the next level. And this program really came on the heels of the COVID pandemic and just how devastating it was for so many. As you could see in the image that I included, there were more than 1 million Black-owned businesses in the United States at the beginning of February, and by mid-April, 440,000 Black business owners had closed their doors for good. That's a 41% drop. And that's just by mid-April. We're almost a year into it now. So you can only imagine the impact that has happened since then. And so the Inclusivity Project, the idea behind that is we are going to have Black advisors who are available to speak with our Black entrepreneurs and small business owners, and have that connection and that personal touch to really reach you and help you as much as we possibly can as we navigate post-COVID and what the future holds for all business owners. Next slide, please.
Wow.
So again, another crazy statistic. In July of 2020, as compared to July of 2019, declines in Black self-employed people were largest, 18.4% compared to the average of 7.3%. And it's estimated that half of the nation's Black entrepreneurs have been forced out of business by COVID-related circumstances. The NorCal SBDC wants the Inclusivity Project to shine a light on the needs of Black entrepreneurs and provide a safety net that can help them preserve their existing business or start a new enterprise in Northern California. I know many people are very interested to know about the capital component, and I have to share that, information about that has not been released quite yet. It is definitely in the pipeline and will be coming out soon. But the first step is to join the Inclusivity Project. And you can do that at the inclusivityproject.com. It'll take you just a few minutes to fill out the application. And then from there, what many of the SBDC centers are doing, Solano is one of them, is the SBDC centers are bringing on or utilizing the Black advisors they already have on the team to work with the entrepreneurs who are part of the Inclusivity Project, so you could still stay within your local community. Yeah, so again, it's the inclusivityproject.com, and I'm so excited to be able to share this with you guys. The SBDC just came out with this program, I would say maybe 2 weeks ago. So it really is brand new, and definitely take a look, see if it's something that you'd be interested in. So I wanted to just focus a little bit on the Solano SBDC and tell you a little bit about us. It's been this year has been, oh my gosh, for everyone. It's just been such a challenging year, but for us too, it's also been like a year of growth and just realization and, doing all we can to help our businesses. That really is such a passion of ours. And we can't do what we do without the support of our local community. And you may be aware that we do receive significant funding from the SBA, the U.S. Small Business Administration, but we also receive local funding too. The state of California GoBiz, for example, you'll be hearing from Chris in just a little bit. We also, going even more local than the state of California, the Solano County Economic Development Corporation, we work very closely with them. And then if anyone on the call is from the cities of Fairfield, Vallejo, Benicia, or Vacaville, those 4 cities this year actually provided us with monetary support for the Solano SBDC, which is just so exciting for us. In the past, we may have had 2 or 3 cities of those cities provide, contributions to us, but this is the first year we've had all 4. And those are also Solano's 4 largest communities right there too. And it really is a testament to the cities seeing the value of the work that the SBDC does and how we reach their business owners. And actually, Fairfield and Vallejo were 2 of the cities that we worked with for our the grant programs in September and October. So we were able to, working with these cities, we awarded 43 grants to businesses in Vallejo and about 73 grants to businesses in Fairfield. So it's very exciting. It's just been a really great partnerships with all of these communities, and we're really hoping that it will just continue to grow. Next slide, please. I also wanted to give a shout out to our host, the Workforce Development Board. Now, many SBDCs, all SBDCs have host organizations. Many of them are hosted by local colleges, community colleges. In fact, for quite a few years, the Solano SBDC was hosted by Solano Community College. For about the last 2 years or so, we have been hosted by the Workforce Development Board of Solano County. And this has been we really provide a one-stop shop of resources and support to our area businesses. Prior to the pandemic, both of our directors would often joke that we were best kept secrets. You know, people knew about us, but we wished more people knew and utilized what we had available. And when COVID hit, we really became this resource overnight to these businesses and also job seekers on the workforce development side of things, right? And the Workforce Development Board and the SBDC, we so much of what we do aligns so closely. The Workforce Development Board focuses on hiring and retention, human resources, grant opportunities, on-the-job training program, and free webinars and workshops. We have SBDC business clients that we refer to the Workforce Development Board, and the Workforce Development Board has clients that they then refer to the SBDC. And it's been a fantastic partnership. We've worked on multiple programs together, including the Solano County grant, where it was co-administered by the two organizations. And we awarded over 250 Solano County businesses with grants. Altogether, it was almost $3 million in grants. And we did that on behalf of Solano County. And our offices are located at 500 Chadbourne Road in Fairfield, if you're ever driving through Fairfield and want to say hi or learn more. All right, so some really awesome milestones at the Solano SBDC in 2020, and this is just Solano. I'm sure many of our other centers also saw some pretty impressive milestones, and this is a testament to our businesses, the dedication and resilience of our businesses, because we can only have these milestones because of how hard our businesses worked. Our Solano SBDC clients reported 9.6 million in loans and equity in 2020. They also reported 33 business starts, $16 million increase in sales. And we had a total of 936 active business clients in 2020, a nearly 90% increase from 2019. We offered altogether 101 training workshops. Most were over Zoom. And altogether, we had just about 13,000 attendees in those workshops. Wanted to highlight real quick, I know my time is winding down, but I wanted to highlight a few Solano SBDC programs. If you are in Solano, BizRx is a free program. There are two components to BizRx. The first is a monthly webinar, and the second component is a one-on-one business assessment with an SBDC advisor. You don't have to be a business client to participate in BizRx. The one-on-one business assessment is similar to a SWOT analysis. And so we have trained business advisors who will sit with you through Zoom, on the phone, whatever you're most comfortable with. And we'll talk about you and your business and your goals for the business and areas where you could grow and expand. Another program is Next Level. Next Level is an intensive 11-week program for Solano entrepreneurs. It's offered every spring and fall. Last slide, please. So we would absolutely love to have you be a business client of the SBDCs. Again, you'll be assigned to the center where your business is located. If you are in Solano, you'll come here to the Solano Center. But if not, you'll go to whichever one in the Bay Area is closest to you. You can find your SBDC Center at asksbdc.com. That website has so much fantastic information. You can apply for free one-on-one advising. Check out the calendar at asksbdc.com to see all of the webinars. There are so many, I can't even begin to list them all for you. And every one of them is free. There's also the NorCal SBDC Learning Library, and there are over a dozen free business related classes to choose from. And that is also free. So please check it out. This is all here for you guys. We are here to help you any way we can. And if you have any additional questions, you're welcome to send me an email. You can reach me at bboyd@solanowdb.org. Thank you.
Brianna, that was so informative.
Thank you.
I was so busy taking notes that as you can see, when I text you and said 1 minute, because I was so the information that you provided was just so informative. 440,000 Black business owners closed their doors. That is, I mean, it's just hard to fathom that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm very excited about the inclusivity
Yeah,
project. I'm very excited about that.
we
Now,
are
is
too.
that project just for Solano County?
No, that project is a NorCal SBDC project.
Excellent. Excellent.
In fact, the organizers are up at NorCal SBDC, so it's an entire region-wide project.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
And
Let's
the
just give,
capital and the capital component, we'll know more about the capital component in the weeks to come.
okay.
The encouragement right now is to sign up, and get connected with an advisor. And
Got
then
it.
as the capital component information becomes available, we will be sharing that too.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's
Thank
a huge
you, Brianna.
commitment from the SBDC. We're very excited for it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You.
We can clap for you. You can clap for her. That was some very
Thank
good
you.
information. Very good information. So appreciate you bringing the information about the 7 SBCDs. I'm sorry, small business development centers in Northern California. I mean, many people know about San Francisco, Alameda, but I didn't know that there were 7. So thank you so much. That's
you.
very good information. Okay, so now, without further ado, let me present to you all our very next presenter, Eileen Chow. Eileen is a senior regional commercial banker, and she's committed to providing various spectrums of commercial banking solutions to small and medium-sized businesses. And she also works with commercial real estate owners. Eileen represents Bank of the West. Over the last 10 years, she's provided several millions of financing to local business owners, as well as commercial real estate investors in the Bay Area. She is here for you. Prior to commercial banking, Eileen was an account manager with First America Title, and she was a licensed senior investment consultant for Charles Schwab. Please welcome Eileen Chow from Bank of the West Commercial Banking, where she will talk about the programs that they have for small businesses. Eileen? Is Eileen on mute? Okay.
My goodness, I thought I'm done.
It's okay.
Yeah, thank you everyone for having me. I am very privileged to be part of this initiative, and it's so important to get the information out there and really help our business owners, because I've seen the success, I've seen the struggles, and I understand what all of you are going through, and I want to be able to share with you what's available, and also what to plan for the future, even if you're not quite there. These programs, the information, the knowledge, in my opinion, is very important, because when you start your business, you are not in it for a paycheck. You're in it for the long run. You want to be successful. And when you do get there, what are some of the tools, options, what do you have to do to continue that run? And so that's what I really want to focus today. And a lot of the business owners, I'm sure you are very familiar with SBA, and either through applying the process of applying for your PPP, or maybe the EIDL that came out the first round of the CARES Act. So this is the same, pretty much the federal government program that has been providing this resource for our small business owners. And SBA was founded a long time ago in 1953, older than a lot of us, right? And it has delivered millions of loans, loan guarantees, contracts, and counseling sessions, and other forms of assistance to our small businesses. And it's a very important part of the government program that, you know, all of you should take advantage of, because it is for you. It is for our community. And I'm actually surprised when I talk to a lot of small business owners, they have no idea what SBA does. There's just a lot of, I would say, a lot of convoluted information out there. Just because you're so passionate about your business and you may not even pay attention to what's out there. And, you know, I work with SBDC a lot, and, you know, Brianna, what they do certainly makes my job a lot easier, because by the time you come to me, I hope, you know, you have already, you know, done your marketing plan if you're if you're a startup. And if you are already in the business, there are always things you can learn, right? From bookkeeping, you know, how to really maximize what you already have, marketing plan, and all of that to pivot to the next stage. So what I really want to focus on today is that help you understand that SBA does not make the disbursements of these funds. It's important to know that, because SBA basically provides a guarantee to many different lenders, right, who are in this market. And by knowing that, you will understand that different lenders have different appetites, even though you are getting an SBA loan, but it doesn't mean every lender will provide you the same terms, rates, or, you know, the same, you know, it's the same guidelines that they have to adhere to, but they have different credit appetite. So it's important to know that the money, the financing part of it, is coming directly from the lenders. The money does not come from SBA. SBA simply provides the guarantee for these lenders should your loan default. So under the SBA umbrella, you will hear two different programs, and it's important to know the differences of the two. Oftentimes, if you, for example, when you're out there and you want to purchase a commercial real estate property for your business, most brokers would say, oh, go for the SBA 504, because that is the longest program. And they may just say, go for the 504. But even a lot of the brokers in the industry don't know that 7A is another option. And I'll go into a little bit more details in the slides that are coming next. So basically, SBA 504 is, oh, I'm sorry, go back to Marie. I just want to highlight SBA 504 is really allows you to purchase long-term asset. What that means is, for example, if you want to purchase a piece of equipment, or if you want to purchase commercial real estate for your business, 504 is one of the programs. 7A, however, is more of a general purpose financing program. So you can use pretty much 7A, you know, to purchase commercial real estate, or the following. If you're starting up, you need working capital, or if you are doing business acquisition, for example, you're purchasing a business, right? Or if you're expanding into a second, or third, or fourth location. Capital expenditure, that means purchasing equipment, or earlier I mentioned commercial real estate for your business, right? So 7A is mainly for working capital and the, you know, the purposes that I just mentioned. Okay, next. Now, this slide really covers a side-by-side comparison between 7A and 504 when you leverage these two programs to purchase commercial real estate. And the reason I really do want to put a little bit more, you know, focus on this, understanding this program is so important, because I have heard so many stories that are just so heartbreaking to me. I've heard business that have been open for 20, 30 years, and they can't renew the lease because, you know, it has gotten so expensive in the Bay Area, and there's really no, you know, rent protection for commercial leases. Once your lease is up, if you're in month to month, there's no such thing as protected tenant when it comes to commercial. So what's going to happen? Your landlord, if you are a month to month, your landlord can either discontinue your lease, or if they were to put the building on the market, what's going to happen to you? Or you may have to pay double or triple of your lease, your rental payments, right? So it's really important that you know that, hey, you know what? Leasing is, if you do have a successful business, buying a commercial property may be something that you should think about. And I always tell customers that, you know what, it's important that you own your real estate, because location is important. I'm sure, especially, let's say if you're a doctor, right? You're a dentist, and you spend $500,000 on improving the property, your office. Once your lease is up, what's going to happen? All of that is going to go down the drain. Versus, for example, if you actually own the property, imagine the possibility, right? That could be your retirement instrument. So that's why I really want to spend just a little bit more time and just bring the awareness to all the small business owners just to think about it, because with as little as 10% down payment, leveraging the SBA programs, you might be able to buy a property for yourself. Now, very important to remember, in order to qualify for these programs, your business has to occupy minimum 51%. And you have to remember that in the Bay Area, there are a lot of properties, for example, let's say if it's a mixed use property, you have 2 or 3 residential units and you have a commercial unit. Is it really 51% of the total square footage? So when you're out there looking, just pay attention. Unless you have a vacant residential unit, maybe you can take up as your office. We could make it work. So again, as little as 10%, you might be able to purchase a property. And also remember that all of these loans, if you look in the bottom a little bit, there are prepayment penalties. Now, I always tell customers that if you're going to get a loan, I really don't think you're going to pay it off in 3 years or 5 years. So really, I don't think it's something you have to be very concerned, right? If you're going to get into one of these loans, unless somebody offers you a crazy, offer and to buy your building and you can't refuse. So it's just something to keep in mind that these commercial loans do have what we call prepayment penalties, which you will hear a lot if you talk to lenders, okay? So that's what it means. If you pay more than your principal, or if you want to pay off your loan, you will be subject to prepayment penalties, all right? And these prepayment penalties are set. So for the 7A is 3 years, for the 504 is 10 years, okay? Now, a lot of borrowers, when they come to me and they said, hey, Eileen, this is a crazy market. It's very competitive, even though it may not be as of right now, just because commercial is really under the, such a big hit right now. So you may have some room to negotiate, but pre-COVID, it was crazy because, a lot of sellers are being offered cash. And so you have to compete and you present your offer and using, SBA 7A as your financing. They may not even take your offer. So that's why it's very important to know and to get pre-qualified with your lender before you even go out and look for a property. Now, the 7A is just one loan with the bank. So for example, at, Bank of the West, we're a preferred SBA lender, one of the biggest SBA lender. So when we do the 7A, it's just one loan with the bank, and we basically disperse the money and you put 10% down. So with the 504 is 2 separate loans, and the bank will carry up to 50% on first position of the purchase price. So 50% of the purchase price, you put 10%. The second loan is the actual SBA loan. Now, CDC stands for Certified Development Company, and they are certified to do the second portion of the loan, which is the actual SBA loan. So the first loan is a conventional loan with the bank. The second loan is actual, SBA. I'm actually very, very happy because with the CARES Act, for the first round, existing SBA customers were able to get 6 months of subsidized payments, and it's automatic. They don't have to apply for it. With the second round, what's happening right now, SBA is waiving the SBA guarantee fee, which is quite hefty. On top of that, is offering 3 months of subsidized payments, meaning you don't need to make any payments for 3 months. And this is also automatic. This is from now through September 30th until money runs out. So it's important, if you do have the down payment, and if you are thinking, it's important to act fast because money is running out really fast. Because initially it was another 6 months, and then last week SBA said, okay, we don't have sufficient funds. Now we're going to change it to 3 months instead. Okay. So next. So on this slide, if you notice that these loans are not 30-year fixed loans, fixed rate, because for commercial, there's no such thing as a 30-year fixed like your residential loan. With SBA, it is a 25-year amortization loan, and the term is 25 years. What that means is that when you go to a small local community bank, there's no way they'll be able to offer you a 25-year fixed. So you have to be very mindful of the lender that you work with, because a lot of the smaller banks, they may have a bigger credit appetite or taking more risk, right? For example, if you are a startup, you work with Brianna, you provide the marketing plan, the 24-month projection. And if you have the down payment, you have the experience in the industry. Let's say if you're a doctor, and basically is what is called a projection loan, right? You're basically using, because you have no historical income of the business, and you're basically just using projection to get into this financing. So a lot of the lenders may not feel comfortable lending you the money, but some will do, and they may charge you a premium. Most likely is going to be variable rate, is not going to be fixed. They may give you a 5-year fixed perhaps, or maybe give you a 10-year variable, okay? So just be mindful. But at Bank of the West here, we offer a 25-year fixed on commercial real estate purchase. If it's business loans, typically it's 7 to 10 years. Okay, next. Okay, let's see. So we have covered that, so we can skip this page. And just to give you an example of what commercial real estate is, and I'm pretty sure, this is very general information, anything that is not residential single family homes or the fourplex, right? So the commercial space that you're occupying most oftentimes, I'm sure is, commercial, because you can't, run your business in your home. Well, now we may, some of us. Okay, next page. If you are doing a startup, just know that you do need to inject, your own capital, because lenders want to have, some skin in the game. And most oftentimes, for startup loans, they may ask for 10 to 30% of your own injection into the total, what is called the total project. Okay. And they're also looking, sometimes they're also looking for collateral depending on the loan amount. But if it's something small, let's say 250,000 or 350,000 and below, oftentimes they do not require collateral. Okay, next. My time is running up, so I'm going to be going over these very fast. Let me see. Okay, I think with this page, I think we mentioned it, with the 7A, is a working capital loan. So if you're hiring new employees, if you're expanding your business, whatever you need for your business, right? You have to provide a purpose to the lender. And, the lender, once the loan is done, they are going to get a first position UCC filing. What UCC means is a lien on your business, is a blanket lien on your business. Okay, next. Now, SBA is not the only option you have. Please do know that conventional financing is available. If you have owned your business 2 to 3 years or more, you are qualified for conventional. Now, why would you want to go for conventional and not SBA? This is a question I get a lot. Well, because SBA it may be more expensive because of the SBA fee. The SBA fee is a one-time fee you pay. Okay, and this fee is the same across the board. So it doesn't matter which lending institution you go to, this fee goes directly, the lender collects and goes directly to SBA. So there's no bargaining of this fee, all right? So that's the reason why if you do qualify for conventional, this may sometimes be a better option. So talk to your lender and they will do the assessment and let you know. Now, if you are looking for a business line of credit, some of them may be evergreen, meaning it's good for 5 years. You don't have to renew with the lender every single year. When it's revolving, and if you are subject for renewal annually, most oftentimes, if it's more than 100,000 or maybe 200,000, you do have to renew with your bank every single year. Okay. So conventional, you can get conventional financing pretty much on the, with the same purposes, okay? But you will pay a loan fee, but not a SBA guarantee fee. But cash flow is extremely important, and I do want to mention that. Okay, next. So this slide, I want you to really take away with this information because you need to get ready. By the time you want to talk to your lender, you really should have all of the documents. And this is very initial review, right? For your banker. So first of all, if you have your business, let's say on Schedule C, which is fine, completely fine, right? But you still need to have profit and loss statement. You still need to have a balance sheet. I emphasize on this because we're almost at tax filing deadline, and oftentimes, clients don't have this prepared. And when you need to get financing, this is something that you must provide: a year-end profit and loss statement and balance sheet. Extremely, extremely crucial to have this, ready for your lender. Your personal tax return, federal, your business tax return, again, depending on the loan amount, 2 to 3 years. A personal financial statement basically is a form that your banker will provide to you. Your bank statements to verify source of funds. And if you're buying a property, do you already have a purchase contract? If you are a startup, do you have the marketing plan? Do you have 24 months of projection, profit and loss, right, for your business? And also resume. Okay, next. Things to look out for. I want to bring it to your attention that, these are some of the challenges that we as lenders run across all the time. You come to me and oftentimes, when I look at your, cash flow, everything looks good, but your credit may not work, right? So there's a minimum that every lender requires, and every lender is different. You know, what we require is 680 or more, right? If you have any late payments, if you have any lawsuits, if you have any judgment liens, tax liens, charge-offs, right? Any short sale in the past, please let your banker know. Come forward with that information. Don't hide it, because you know we will find it. So we will find information, because we order you know, these background check reports from LexisNexis, so everything shows up, right? So it's really important to let your banker know in advance if you do have any credit history or any of the following. I just want to focus on that, because you could go down the path and then they go into underwriting, they order a report or your credit report, and then they find that you have a history of, you know, bad credit or whatnot, and the whole thing is just gonna blow up, right? So you don't want to waste your time and go down that path, which is very frustrating. You just got to be able to explain what happened. Do not over leverage, because when you have so much debt, it's absolutely going to drain your cash flow. I say that is because, you know, a lot of customers, you know, they have just crazy lifestyle, and then they come to me for financing. And then when I look at your personal financial statement, you have, you know, just so much debt. This is not going to work unless you are making a killing, right? That can really cover your lifestyle. Otherwise, please preserve your cash, because cash really is the king. Cash mitigates a lot of the risk that we see, challenges we see. We want you to have that liquidity, okay? So please don't spend it all. Again, please have really good bookkeeping for your business, because we don't want you to, you know, commingle your personal expenses and your business expenses. Very important. Please get a commercial card, get a business credit card, and do not combine them. Okay, I think I'm done. Thank you.
Woo, woo, you provided so much information, Eileen. Oh my goodness. So
It's quite overwhelming. So
it was a lot of information. I was so busy trying to take some notes, but I thought that a couple of things that I wanted to point out. There is an SBA fee. It's a one-time fee, but there is a fee,
yes,
and I think that's important for small business people to know that. I also like the fact that you there's things to look out for. You know, life happens, and even in every day, and so small businesses run into different things. So one of the things I encourage them to try to do to help mitigate some of this lawsuits, you need to have some commercial business insurance that will help you if you're involved in any types of lawsuits. There are a number of things that I think that you pointed out that was very helpful. You talked about the Schedule C. You talked about separating your personal and your business finances. There are many small businesses. I myself am an entrepreneur, and just some of the information that you provided regarding, because Schedule C, as you know, those of you that use Schedule C for your business expense, I think it's important. Separate your personal and business expenses. Keep a good record of your bookkeeping. Not to say you got to have QuickBooks and all of it, but you need to have some sort of bookkeeping for your business in order for you to move forward, not just with an SB, with any type of lending situation. Key for your business is a P&L. Eileen mentioned that. You need to understand the cash flow, and you need to be prepared. P&L, cash flow, separate your personal and your business expenses. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
All right. So now we're going to come to our third speaker. And let me just say that I had a conversation with Christopher Earl, and it was very, very enlightening. Christopher Earl represents the governor's California Office of Small Business Advocates and is the Southern California Regional Advisor. He goes by Chris, and he he has an extensive background really in working with and helping small businesses. He did a lot of small business consulting and grant writing before moving to the California Office of Small Business Advocacy. Chris spent 11 years working with the Riverside Community College District Economic Development Division. Those of you who know economic development, you know what a grind that is. Before joining the governor's office of GoBiz, he's a graduate of HBCU, Southern Carolina State University. Without further ado, please welcome Christopher Earl.
Thank you, Francis, for that introduction, and thank you for the invitation to speak with everyone today. Again, I'm Chris Earl, the Southern California Regional Advisor for the California Office of the Small Business Advocate, which I'll refer to as Cal OSBA going forward, just so everyone knows what I'm referring to. We are, as an office, located within the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development, which is better known as GoBiz. And just let me give you a brief overview of, the California business landscape as we see it right now. You can stay on that. You can stay on the first slide for now. And so first off, California is home to over 4 million small businesses, and 99.8% of those of those businesses are small, and they employ over 7.2 million workers within the state. So approximately 50% of the state's workforce comes from small businesses. And so additional to that, California small businesses are our drivers of economic growth and mobility within the state, which creates 2/3 of our net new jobs and basically employs half of our private sector employees throughout the state. So let me tell you a little bit about our office on the next slide. So just real quickly, I'll go through our mission and objectives of the state, which, I won't read it verbatim. I'll just kind of paraphrase some things here. But basically, essentially, we represent the views and the interests across state government for small businesses. We ensure that the information and content and direct support for small businesses are available to them, and that they're better equipped to navigate the state resources, programs, and regulations. So we also support that through helping them increase their resilience. And so I really wanted to harp on the resilience aspect because, we've all faced this COVID pandemic together. And, I think resiliency is one of those key words right now as we look at a recovery and moving forward into 2021. And so a lot of the programs and what we do has been focused on being, recovery and resilient for California businesses. And so that's in alignment with the governor's focus on building a California for all, a more inclusive, move towards inclusivity and moving forward to entrepreneurial and building small business ecosystems. And the whole purpose for that is to address and eliminate opportunity gaps. And that's across zip codes, race, and gender. So those are the primary focuses of the office, and I can dive into some of our resources and programming on the next slide. So here on this slide, this is essentially just wanted to give you all a visual in terms of our California Business Center network. And one of our top and strongest partner is our California SBDC network, which Brianna runs the Solano County office. And so I'll dive into a little bit of some of their efforts and how we've worked together on some of the programs we've done throughout the end of 2020 into this year. But through that, we provide direct assistance and support small business through this California Business Center network, which Brianna is a member of. And we also maintain an extensive resource guide listing state actions and detailing resources and things available for small businesses. And I won't dive into that too much, but I also wanted to just highlight some of the things like our entrepreneurship task force and small business partners and corporate organizations who all work together to amplify, their programs, the webinars, newsletters, community events. All these things are kind of highlighted and amplified through our Cal OSBA website, which is business.ca.gov. And also, please be sure to follow us on social media at Cal OSBA is our hashtag there. And I touched on our small business center networks. And Brianna really gave a really great presentation. Very, very interested in the inclusivity project. I just learned about it yesterday or the day before. So very excited about that. These are the types of programs that we like to see within our business center networks, really focusing on addressing gaps within the communities that we're serving, whether that's demographics or if that's through geography. So really excited about that program and all the work that's going on in the NorCal region. You guys are really kicking butt up there. So really wanted to highlight you there. We have over 80 federally contracted centers within the state, which again, Brianna is a part of that. And we also provide services through that network in over 30 different languages. So we try to be able to be a resource for all people, regardless of language, race, anything, you name it. We try to be there and have someone to provide support in that way. So without further ado, I'll go a little further into our programming. On the next slide here. And so with this slide here, again, I wanted to highlight that the Cal OSBA office is the advocate for small business. We are the voice. So essentially what my role in Southern California as the regional advisor, I go out and I speak to small businesses directly. I hear the good, bad, and indifferent. And through those correspondence and communications, we're able to in Sacramento develop policy or develop programming that will address those gaps or help amplify what's working well in our regions. And so with that, beyond that, I want to give some examples of that. And the big one, which everyone's probably heard about, is the Small Business COVID Relief Grant Program, which recently ended on February the 8th, where we were awarding small businesses of grants up to $25,000, as well as nonprofits. And that program, we were able to successfully bring on 350,000 small businesses applied for that program through the first 2 rounds. We are still in the process. Well, actually, our partner Lendistry, which is our fiscal agent or our intermediary who dispersed the funds, they're still in the process of selecting awardees and going through that process. So I can't speak on the awarded applicants just as of yet, but we had a huge amount of interest. And if you've been paying attention to some of our legislative actions, you will know that the governor approved a new package for California. To provide another $2 billion in funding for California residents, primarily for small businesses. So there will be an extension and further rounds of this grant program to the tune of about $2 billion. And so 50 million of those dollars will be allocated specifically for nonprofit cultural institutions. So our art galleries and art museums and organizations of the like. And so our office, this program is rolling out directly under our office. And so we're working quickly to make sure this funding is rolled out in the next few weeks. So I would love for all of you small businesses here listening in to please take advantage of this program. We are working on, I can't say for certain, but previously, if you had started your business previous to June 1st, 2019, then you were eligible. I would imagine that they will make some updates to that start date, which would in turn make this available for even more small businesses going forward in the future rounds. So please visit the calreliefgrant.com website. You don't need to write any of that down. I'll be sure to share my presentation. But then also just wanted to highlight that. And also, if you did apply in the first 2 rounds, there's no action needed on your part. If you were waitlisted or anything along those lines, you will be automatically rolled into the new subsequent rounds. So no action is needed on your part. And if you have questions or anything like that, I probably wouldn't be able to answer anything about application or eligibility or any of those things because we don't have, the applicant data on at our disposal. But I can at least get you in touch with the right individual at the industry to help you kind of rectify whatever issue or questions you're seeking. So I just really wanted to spend some additional time on that one. Also here, our CA Rebuilding Fund, which is a pretty straightforward, affordable loan program for small businesses. It really, it's a great program if it fits your needs and of your business, and that fits your model and what you need in terms of financing. I know with a lot of grant programs going around, like right now, there's a lot of funding being thrown around. So it's just really assessing what's the best fit for you and your business. And then also we have new tax relief programs, our sales tax relief and Main Street small business hiring tax credit programs. And those programs come out of our Cal Biz office. And if a lot of our entrepreneurs engage directly with our CalBiz team, they provide incentives and services directly for business. So if you're looking at permitting and tax credits and things of that nature, you'll probably have more familiarity with that group, with that team versus mine. Our team is focused more so on programming, resources for small businesses. So typically we're out of the forward-facing activities. So typically, that a lot of the work that we do comes down through our partners like Brianna and other SBDCs and women's business centers that are located in the state. And so moving on to the next slide. Let's see here. Okay. So again, with the Cal Relief Grant Program, just some quick points. Obviously, rounds 1 and 2, they closed as of February 8th. The additional funding was approved on Monday. And I wanted to take this slide to really highlight our partners as well as our intermediary lendistry, which is a CDFI mission lender. Everett Sands is the CEO, Black-owned CDFI at that. So I was very proud that he was awarded the opportunity to be our intermediary for that program. As well, I wanted to highlight our CA SBDC and Women's Business Center networks because, oh my gosh, they work their tails off night and day to help these small businesses get their applications in, frantic calls, emails all over the place. I mean, so just the resolve and the patience that they showed with a lot of our entrepreneurs in going through an online application process. And I think for some of the millennial groups, it's like, oh yeah, online application process, no big deal. But I think for a lot of our mom and pop businesses who don't have an existing online presence, that transition doing online applications and the online, registering and all of that, it was just more of it was a learning curve there. And they were there on the ground to assist them and make that process easy. You're not gonna, have 100%, effectiveness in terms of that. But I think that it was a huge, overwhelming success to get 330,000 businesses into an application process within, 30 days. I mean, it's just phenomenal. And to get $500 million out in the street. So, just kudos to the California SBDC network, as well as the California Women's Business Center network. So I just wanted to take that slide. I'm not going to speak much about the bullet points there. Just wanted to take that time to highlight them. So moving on to the next slide here. And again, just wanted to really highlight what our primary focuses are within the Cal OSBA office. Number 1 is access and connections to capital. Again, the relief program, working with our lenders across the state like iBank and the California Loan Program, as well as our sister agencies in the Treasurer Office. So we try to make sure that we are able to provide as many resources for small businesses to evaluate and look at so that they can make the best decision to move their businesses forward. And so additional to that is also access to markets. And my primary focus area, which is a statewide focus, is procurement and supply chains. And so those are areas in terms of government contracting as well as private contracting. Those are my primary focal points throughout the state. And so just wanted to speak that we will be having a 2021 procurement initiative coming out for corporate corporate engagement from a small business perspective, how to engage with corporate entities and pick up contracts through that mechanism as well. And if you're familiar with that, with the corporate or the procurement avenue, I should say, you know, we have existing governmental programs that are already existing through the SBDC networks. There's actually some basics training going on right now throughout the NorCal. Actually, I think NorCal is, you guys are active up there, Brianna, but I think NorCal actually has an existing program going on, I think now this week or something along those lines. So a lot of activity around the procurement area. You'll hear more about that. Hopefully we'll hear some announcements coming soon. But also just wanted to highlight we're really focused on sourcing with local businesses as well as diverse businesses across the state so that we can strengthen our own California economy. We learned that through COVID, our supply chains and our supplier networks were devastated, and still a lot of them have not recovered. I don't know if you've taken a car into the shop recently and tried to get a new part for your car, you're going to be waiting for months to get that piece. So we still have issues with, you know, supply chain and things of that nature. So we're looking to, with 2021, really strengthen our own internal supply chain so that we can be resilient when things come and still be able to move forward as a state. So definitely want to highlight that. And e-commerce and global trade are our other focal points. My counterparts in Central California and Northern California head up those initiatives as well. And on the next slide, I'll kind of touch on one of our more recent e-commerce initiatives. And that initiative is called Get Digital California. And primarily this initiative is to promote e-commerce adoption for small businesses and micro enterprises to build the skills to learn how to compete online. What does it mean to have an online presence? What are the pros and cons? What does that mean for your business? How will this, you know, change your business model and things of that nature? So understanding, you know, what that transformation going into the digital, you know, age or going into e-commerce, what does that look like? So this program was launched in November with Facebook and Instagram, along with some local partners. And so there were some digital pop-up festivals, which were piloted not last month, but December of 2020 in Central California. And so basically this was just to create online shopping experiences on social media platforms so that, you know, California businesses could rally or Californians could rally and support their small businesses and learn how to, you know, our small businesses would learn how to adapt to a new online marketplace. And so developing those skills and understanding how to utilize the tools and things of that nature. And we put together digital boot camps to help those businesses understand what that transformation looks like. So please head over to business.ca.gov/Get Digital California. There's a lot of offerings and programming there that's specific to that. There may be still offers remaining for some of our corporate sponsors, so please check that out. And moving on to the next slide. And this slide here is just wanted to highlight some of our resources. We also support disaster preparedness and economic recovery. It's critical that our small businesses get prepared for the next disaster. As we know, as Californians, we deal with it all. And so we really need to prepare ourselves so that when things happen, we're equipped to know how to handle and face those adversities when they come. And so that's really what, you know, what our support is and making sure that we're highlighting resources and information for small businesses. So we host an online tool called outsmartdisaster.com. And it's an online tool that businesses can use to assess their resiliency, which is called the Resilient Business Challenge. And so it's like a 5-step course where businesses can go over topics such as identifying impacts of disruption, strengthening facilities. It will walk them through each step and provide them with key information along the way. So it's more like I guess it's like a self-assessment type of thing, so you can see where you are as a business in terms of disaster and resilience. So it's just a good tool for a small business to use, especially if they're in certain industry sectors where, you know, they're responsive to disaster and things of that nature. And so we also coordinate with the Cal OES office, and that's the Office of Emergency Services, and our partners across the government to ensure the small businesses have the resources and the tools and information they need. And also, Our disaster relief guide for COVID-19 and wildfires can also be found at business.ca.gov. And if you select the yellow banner at the top, it'll provide you with like a drop down of, you know, further sites and information that you need there. And then the last slide here is just our just a list of resources and links for you. But again, you don't need to write any of this down. I'll share this out to everyone. So with that, that concludes my presentation. Oh, and please don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Nextdoor and Instagram at California OSBA. Thank you, and that concludes my presentation.
Oh my goodness, Chris, I was so busy writing, and then you stopped talking. I was like, oh, it's my turn. So much information, so much information. And I'm excited. I'm really excited we about the fact that you're announcing that there's going to be a third round, and that the governor approved a $2 billion funding for the next round.
4 times the existing round.
Yes, I'm very excited about that, because there are people that have been waitlisted. There are people that didn't make it through. They completed all of the documentation, but they didn't make it through round 1 and 2. So that's very exciting news, mainly because we still have a number of small businesses out there that really need some help. And that's been proven by what you said. 330,000 people applied,
So thank your local
330,000 businesses.
Thank your local legislators. They voted for this. So thank them. You know, really proud of our legislature for that. Sorry, Francis.
No. I'm very, I don't know what other states do. I've heard, you know, here and there, but just the things that California is doing, you know, we often are out front with a number of things, but the fact that California and the small business development centers are really focusing on having programs, meaningful programs, and funding available for small businesses. That, to me, that's the most important thing. We, and I'm just so, thank you so much for providing this information. One of the questions always comes up, are the presentations going to be available? And so you've already made that announcement, because nobody could take all the notes. There's so many things that you talked about, and there's so many websites for small businesses to go to look up information, to find out what else is available out there. That it's just really some phenomenal information from all 3 of our presenters. Thank you so much. This has been, I have taken like 1, 2, 3, I have like 3 pages of notes here. And I want to echo what some of the people are saying in the chat box. Some of this news is very exciting. Really, thank you so much to the presenters. I have a couple of things I just kind of want to talk about. I want to encourage you all to get your questions answered. I want to encourage you to look at the presentations now that they've indicated that they will be available. Look at the presentations and follow up on some of this for your business. The information that is out there to just kind of help you as you move through this and try to get your business back online, pivot, get back in the office. I like that some of the funding can be used, not just to purchase a building, but, you know, to purchase what you need to run your business. To me, that's the important piece. I encourage you to do so. We have a small little online survey technology. Are we going to do the little survey real quick?
It is actually already in the box that they can click on.
Oh, so it's already in the chat box for them to click on to do the
yes.
survey. Please click on the survey link. It's very quick. We would love for everyone to complete a survey. That would be wonderful for us. And what we'd like to do now is, Shante, if there's a couple of 2, 3 questions that we can get the presenters to respond to, is that possible?
Yes, that's great. I just want to reiterate my thanks for the presenters, Brianna, Eileen, and Chris, for the wealth of information that you've shared And thank you to all of the attendees for participating. We really enjoy being able to offer this information. So we do have a couple of questions here. The first question I have is, what is the amount of the average loan? And I believe that one would probably be for Eileen.
Is that the average loan for SBA? I'm sorry, it got to be a little bit more specific.
Let's see. It says, yeah, there's a question that says, is a personal guarantee required for the SBA 7A and 504 loan?
Yes, personal guarantee is required.
Okay.
So even though, you know, in fact, I want to just make it clear to everybody, you know, all of these loans, even though, you know, we're lending to your business, but lenders do require personal guarantees. That's why we ask for personal tax returns.
Got it.
And do you have an average amount for the two of the loans?
I think the question, it says how much are the average grants? So that might be for Brianna and Chris.
Okay.
Average grant.
And yeah, I can jump in at least on this specific grant program from the state side. The grant intervals are determined on the revenue levels of the business, but the maximum amount is 25K and the minimum amount I believe is 5K. So that's the range of business, and then your specific amount is determined by revenues. So obviously businesses under 2.5 million, well, over 2.5 million in revenue are not eligible. This is specifically for our smaller businesses. So, but yeah, so that's 5 to 25 is the range for us.
Excellent.
Great.
And then the local grants that I was discussing in my presentation, two of them were similar to the California Relief Grant, are based on how many people are employed by the business. So business is specifically for small businesses of 1 to 20 employees, and grants were between $5,000 and $10,000.
Great information, and thank you. And we have one more question for Chris. So the question is, if you are waitlisted, what are the next steps?
I love this question because this is the easiest answer of all. There is no action needed on your part. You will be automatically rolled into the next round for consideration. So if you've received that confirmation that you've been waitlisted, all you need to do is just kind of look out for the next update of when the new round will be open, but there'll be no action needed on your part. You won't need to reapply or any of that. But if you wanted to call or reach out to Lendistry directly just to kind of get a status update, feel free to do that. But there won't be any requirement on you to fill out or complete any more documents if everything's submitted already.
Great.
Excellent.
Great. Thank you so much. So there are no other questions. So we'll move over. Did you have something, Francis?
I just have a couple of questions. So on the this question is for Chris. So for the $5,000 to $25,000, those are grants.
Yes.
Does that mean that the grants they don't have to pay them back?
Not at all. No.
Okay.
So no payback on that. And the use of funds, which is usually a second question. The only requirements or a restriction, I wouldn't even call it a restriction. The only caveat is that if you receive PPP or EIDL funding, you cannot use that funding. Basically, you can't use those two different funding sources for the same thing. So for example, if you're paying yourself for July, you can't pay yourself twice for July. Maybe use, August, September, or, it can't be for it can't be for the same thing, whether it's equipment or, paying staff, it just can't be for duplicative things. And that's the only requirement we have. And it does not affect their eligibility. If they've received PPP and EIDL funding, great, more power to them. It will not affect them with our program either. And that should work vice versa as well.
Okay, all right. And then on the inclusivity project, are there, and I heard you say, Brianna, the main thing is that the the Small Business Development Center would like for the businesses to register. And but I want to add the inclusivity project. Is that it's for small businesses. It's to include inclusivity of what? Is the funding? They're going to get training. Can you talk just a little bit about that?
Yeah, so if they're not already an SBDC client,
Mhm.
I from my understanding, and again, this program is it just got announced like probably a week, 2 weeks ago. So more details will be coming out, as the weeks go on. But my understanding is that the people who are part of the inclusivity project will receive the same type of advising that you would as a SBDC client, except it will be with a Black advisor. So you'll have a Black advisor paired with a Black entrepreneur or Black business owner. And the idea behind that is to build that connection, that personal connection, having shared experiences, be able to relate to one another more, and just have that that connection, right? That you may not be able to get with a traditional advisor.
Excellent, excellent. That helps me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And it is completely free.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, and then my final question is for you, Chris, around the Get Digital California. So for the businesses that aren't quite so digital, the small and mom and pop businesses, so they can register, and the someone will be assigned to help them learn how to get digital in their business.
Right. So typically what's happened with the first rollout in Central California, they did what's called digital boot camps. So what they did was kind of in a module style type of program where they had small businesses or micro enterprises sign up, and then they took like different cohorts or groups of businesses and put them through this module process. So it's very hands-on and intensive, and it kind of goes through some of the processes, and it's really aimed at just getting them on the path of e-commerce adoption.
Exactly. Okay.
It's not intended to overload them or go too heavy into the technicals, but really just to understand that, hey, because of COVID, we may have to adapt our business models and change the way we do things. And we don't want you to suffer and wait for a reopening. So here's a way that we can be proactive and kind of pivot your business so that you can still be profitable even during the pandemic.
So at the boot camp, they're going to learn how to get digital, how to possibly create some e-commerce for their business.
Absolutely. And along with that, they'll get tools as well as support from resources. And there's a lot of different programming from our corporate sponsors as well. So right now I'm looking to have a rollout. I don't know if my counterpart in Northern California is going to win out on the tug of war for the next cohort regionally. But yes, so Central California had the initial rollout in the fall. And so we're looking at the next rollout, I think spring or summer for Northern or Southern California.
That was my question.
I think Northern California is going to win out, to be honest.
Okay. So that answers my questions. Back to you, Shantae. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So now it's our time for our giveaway. We have 3 lucky winners. Each of our winners will receive a $50 gift card, and you will be contacted within 24 hours of this meeting. So our first winner is Valencia Luna. So Valencia Luna, we're so happy to give you this gift card for your business. And then we have a second winner, which is Rachel Stallworth. And congratulations to both of you. And for our final winner, we have Vivian Wells. And so again, we will reach out to you within the next 24 hours. Congratulations on being one of our winners, and thank you all for participating. And I turn it back over to you, Francis.
Shantae, thank you. Congratulations to Valencia, Rachel, and Vivian. And as Shantae says, we have your emails. We will be reaching out to you all, just a little small token, to say just thank you. We want to be able to provide the information that you're going to need to pivot your business and to move forward. With that, I want to say thank you to our panelists. The information that you provided is just so valuable. I have so many notes myself. I want to say thank you to Brianna from the Solano Small Business Development Center for your information and for the fact that we're walking away with a list of all of the small business development centers in Northern California. And
Thank you for the opportunity.
that's important for us. Thank you, thank you. Thank you to Eileen Chow from Bank of the West. Um, Sometimes we need to hear that detailed information that we often don't think about until it's actually time. So to actually use that information. So your presentation about you need to prepare, and it was just so informative. I like many of the things that you talked about. As an insurance agent, I deal with small businesses. Um, because of commercial real estate, commercial insurance. I tell people all the time, if you're buying a business, you're buying a home, you're buying any type of commercial real estate, you can't close without insurance. You really can't close without your insurance agent. So there's lots of information that your insurance agent can provide to you. I encourage all of you to reach out to them. And finally, to Chris Earl, the Northern California Miss Redmond, who was not available for the presentation today. And we are so grateful that she took the initiative, and Caitlin Lewis, to say, listen, we're not available, but we have the same programs and we will reach out to our Southern California counterpart. And that's how we got you. I'm so grateful. And thank you for the information that you provided. Just the fact that you want to make your presentation available to everyone. The governor's office, Go Biz. I read. I'm so impressed with some of the things that are going on. If you haven't looked at their website, when you get his presentation, take a look at their website. There's so much information there for small businesses. And this whole, I didn't see that on the website, but I'm certainly going to go back and take a look at it, because I think this whole digital boot camp for small businesses that really aren't in e-commerce, really have not moved their business. The fact that that a boot camp is being offered by the state of California to help them. There's going to be resources. There's going to be tools. There's going to be things that you're going to walk away with so that you can actually move into that arena. Thank you so much, Chris. I so appreciate it. I want to say thank you to Coca-Cola, who's our sponsor today. And I also want to say thank you to Bank of the West, who's also our sponsor today. This has been very enlightening. We, the 100 Black women, are very grateful. We are promoting financial literacy. We're promoting entrepreneurship. We're promoting a number of other arenas. One of them is access to capital for small businesses. And our very next seminar in March, we're having two. We're going to have a seminar on March 18th for first-time home buyers. We're having the lenders, Wells Fargo, Union Bank, Bank of the West, who are also our sponsors. They're going to come and talk. How do you really apply for a loan? What do you need to apply for a loan so that you can become what? A homeowner. On March 25th, we're doing access to capital for small businesses. Look out for that. I encourage small businesses to consider signing up. We're going to do a series. We're starting on March 25th. And it's going to be Business Finance 101. We're going to teach you what you're going to need, what's necessary to help you to be able to get access to capital. As I talked about that, it's also going to be April 1st. We're doing a series for small businesses, March 25th, April 1st, and April 8th. So look out for that coming very, very soon. It's going to be a hands-on, a boot camp to help you in business finance so that you can qualify to apply for small business loan, or as Eileen said, a conventional loan. With that, I want to thank the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Economic Empowerment Committee. and our technology committee. You've done a phenomenal job. I want to thank you, ladies. Thank you to our president, Asia Brown. And thank you to all of you who attended today. Look for some other information from us. And I want to congratulate our winners with the 3 Amazon gift cards. And thank you. Looking forward to it. Ladies, did everyone fill out a evaluation form? Are you getting the evaluation forms back from everyone? Please go to the chat box, click on it. I'm doing it myself, and click on the evaluation form. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Before you go away though, I wanna be able to okay, great. I got it. Thank you so much. Am I leaving out anything, ladies?
You are not, that's it.
All righty. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Thank you.